Hey y'all, welcome back to A Dash of Gratitude. My name is Beth, and today we're talking about homeschool curriculum, specifically 6th grade curriculum that we're using this year. If we haven't met yet, my name is Beth. I'm married to Brandon, and we have 3 children. Our oldest is Olivia. She graduated last year. We homeschooled her from 3rd grade all the way through 12th grade, and it was a wonderful experience most of the time. Our middle daughter is Serena. She's our 6th grader this year, and she's 11. And our youngest is Robbie. He's in kindergarten and he is 6. If you're interested in seeing a kindergarten curriculum video, I will link it below. I'm just gonna jump right into 6th grade and what it looks like for us this year. A typical day, if we're gonna be home and doing our formal schoolwork, a typical day looks like this. I'll wake up first. The kids wake up when they naturally wake up, and then they'll have breakfast. I usually do a read aloud with them while they eat, and I drink my coffee. We've read anything from Hatchet to the Boxcar Children. We read storybooks, picture books. Right now we are supplementing in with Benjamin Franklin Wise Words. It's like a 1 page a day that I'm reading in with our chapter book. And, so it varies what we read. I like to choose things that will appeal to both kids. And, I kind of fluctuate between younger reads and kind of early young adult reads. So far, everyone's enjoyed everything that we've read so far. So after our read alouds, the kids do their morning chores and they have a checklist to go along with those. And then we all meet upstairs, and that's where I am right now. I'm in the upstairs living room of our home. This is where we keep most of our homeschool stuff and where we kind of do our formal learning for the day whenever we're home. If you'd like to see more of our homeschool room, I do have a tour, and I will link that video down below so you can kind of you can picture in your head what I'm talking about. But right over here to my right is where Serena sits, and I'm actually sitting in Robbie's seat, but Serena sits over here, and then I sit on the couch right near both of the kids so we can all be here right together. My view and my philosophy in our homeschool has been, I prefer for us to cover the basics: math, reading, writing. The rest of our learning is covered through real world experiences and field trips. Starting in 6th grade, we start spelling curriculum. And I'm going to show you an example of what's in this curriculum. I'm not going to show you her work just for her own privacy reasons, but I'm just skipping back here to lesson 22. Here's an example of what this curriculum looks like. So there's a list of words, and I will have her read the list aloud to me so I can make sure she knows how to pronounce everything correctly. And then I'll have her rewrite the words over here in her own handwriting, obviously. And I have her write here in cursive. So she writes them here in cursive, and then she gets out her own spelling spiral bound. It's just a little notebook, a spiral notebook, and she writes the words and the definitions, and she can write those in print. That's totally fine. So that's day 1 of the spelling curriculum. And then for the rest of the week, there are other worksheets that go along with the lesson, and I'll have her do a worksheet every day to go along with the lesson. And then every now and then there's a lesson review. So this one will review lesson 20 through 22. And, just kind of goes back and revisits some of those words and definitions and how to use them properly. So on Fridays, what we do for spelling is I'll have her do a spelling test. And sometimes we've done verbal, she'll spell them out loud for me, and sometimes she'll write them. It just depends on where we are, how busy we are, what we're doing that day. Along with her spelling test on Fridays, I will have her sign the words in sign language. Now, I don't know fluent sign language. I do know American Sign Language alphabet. So I'll have her spell them out with her hand, and that's how we do our spelling test at the end of the week. Now, sometimes I'll go back and find one from a week or 2 before that she kind of struggled with, and I'll give it to her as a bonus. And, usually she gets a 100 plus the bonuses. All right. But we're enjoying spelling. This is a really, really just good, it's a really good spelling curriculum. We're enjoying that. We usually start cursive handwriting in 2nd grade. This workbook, I think I got it for her last year, and she, works through it. She knows how to write in cursive. I just kind of got it for her as a review. Because, it's something I want her to stay brushed up on. So this is pretty good, and, it's for teens, so it's got a little bit more fun things to write, not just cat and dog and, you know, that kind of a thing. But so cursive, handwriting. For the bulk part of her curriculum this year, we are using Thinking Tree curriculum. It's a fun schooling with Minecraft. It's a big workbook that you choose your own books to filter through it to cover all the subjects, and that's how you do your curriculum. Serena really enjoys Minecraft, so I knew that she would enjoy working through this workbook. Every day looks like this, and they said in the workbook it suggests for you to complete 10 pages each day in this workbook. You write your date and your number one goal, and then you can color in how you're feeling this day. For geography lesson, you pick a country to learn about. You look at the country on Google Earth and add something from this country to your Minecraft world. She doesn't always do that part, but she does always find it on the globe, and sometimes on Google Earth as well. This is a little color me section. If you don't know about Minecraft, it's all like block shapes. So this is kind of like color this like a Minecraft block or whatever you want, but that's how she does it. And then down here, it has a little space for your to-do list. On the next page is the listening time. It's listening time, so it says classical music, history, and literature. Listen to a story of the world, an audiobook, or classical music. Draw and doodle below. I am listening to, and you write down what you're listening to, and you draw and doodle in these spaces right here. Minecraft, building challenge. Research, design, and build each object in Minecraft. Build a wildlife habitat. Draw or describe it here. Pixel art, you can create your own pixel art designs. For reading time, write and draw what you're reading about. Right now, her current read is Percy Jackson, The Lightning Thief. You just use this page to fill in about your reading time. You can draw and doodle and write some notes. Okay, backyard science. So the science is not super deep. This encourages nature walks and nature study. So it says, draw or write about the things you see outside today. Challenge, create, and the challenge is to create the same item in your Minecraft world. So she'll go outside. She usually takes her phone and she'll take pictures of something pretty that she sees out there or something interesting. We have quite a lot of nature in our backyard, so there's ample things to choose from. And then here is a just for fun color. She doesn't always do these, but sometimes she does. The next one is vocabulary building. Now, for this, a lot of times I'll have her just skip this because she already does vocabulary. It's included in her spelling curriculum, but I like the prompt in this. It says, look in your library books or on Minecraft for 4 words with more than 10 letters. Write the words and their definitions below. So that's kind of cool. There isn't movie time every day, but there is often a movie time listed. So watch an educational film, tutorial, or documentary. So you write the title of the film you chose, and then you write a review. And you rate it with how you feel about it. All right, math time. This is just to supplement what you're using for your math curriculum, but it says use your math book or watch a math tutorial online. Use this graph paper for practice, lessons, and notes. So she usually doesn't really do that either. She just does her math curriculum, which we're gonna get into in a moment. And that covers all of the things for that particular day. Now, sometimes, like on the next day, there's a whole social studies instead of listening time for where you listen to music or whatever and then draw and doodle. There's a social studies time about the world today. It's a little bit different every day. It encourages creativity and it just allows her to not take school so seriously, that school and learning can be fun and enjoyable too. If you've never heard of the Thinking Tree, the fun schooling with, they have lots of different themes, fun schooling with all kind of things, but you know, this year we're using the Minecraft. To go along with this book, this year she chose for her science book, she chose a geology, and here's a gemstone book to go along with that. And then for a history book, she references this book here. And all these are really great and interesting. And it's really fitting because Well, I'll get to it in a moment, but there's something else that ties into geology and geography as well. And we're going to talk about that in a minute too. This year for math, we are using Life of Fred. Our family has used Life of Fred ever since Olivia, who is our oldest, I think she was in the 5th grade when we ordered Life of Fred. We were using a different math curriculum and she just wasn't liking it, wasn't learning from it really well. It wasn't a good match for her. So I did some research, saw about Life of Fred, and we decided to give it a chance. Well, she loved Fred so much and it worked really well for her. And so we've just continued to use it with Serena. Serena started it in kindergarten and Robbie has started it in kindergarten too. Well, Serena is all the way up, appropriately on up. We are actually playing a little bit of catch up with Serena this year because I think I lent out one of our Life of Fred books and then we actually lost 2 of them or something. I don't know where they went, but we're playing a little bit of catch up. So we are reviewing the farming book, which is in the elementary math. The next ones in line are goldfish, honey, and ice cream. So once we're done with those, we'll move into the Life of Fred intermediate books, and that's fine. I'm totally okay with her doing that. She's learning, she's moving forward every day, and it's really good. I also have this workbook to supplement math. It's called Real World Math for grades 5 through 8. And it teaches real world things. So in the introduction of this real world math, it says math concepts that are covered in these various units include but are not limited to the following: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, fractions, decimals, time, graphs and charts, basic pre-algebra, ratios, logical reasoning, percents, and basic geometry. And they teach all these things through real world scenarios. We use this with Olivia as well. And just like the Life of Fred books, we don't write in them. You write on your own paper so we can reuse this and then sell it one day or pass it on to someone else and it'll be like a brand new workbook. When Olivia was working through this workbook, I remember one of the lessons was where she had to create a budget, pretend she had a job and what her salary would be, and then call around and find out about deposits for an apartment and figure out how much would a car payment be, look at grocery budgeting and, how much she would have for groceries, gas, and bills. It was really interesting, and the girl is really good at saving money. So I don't know if this had anything to do with it, but we try to be really real with our kids and teach things through real world lessons. Like I said earlier, that's really important to us because that's what we're getting them ready for, is the real world. So it's good. All right. Something else that we are doing that's new this year, and I talked about this a little bit in our kindergarten curriculum video, but we are using the Tuttle twins this year. Here's the whole set of the Tuttle twins. Now, the way that we're working through these this year is when Brandon has availability, which, every week there is some time he has available. He sits with both of the kids, Robbie and Serena, and they read through one of these books. It's just an easy read. You can read it in one sitting. And then and they talk about it. Now this covers big subjects in a way that is easy to understand. I talked a little bit about the law in the kindergarten video that I did. In this video, I'm going to talk about the miraculous pencil. I'm just going to read the back cover here. It says, do your kids know how the free market works? Ethan and Emily Tuttle have grown up taking for granted the many things they use: clothes, cars, homes, backpacks, even something as simple as a pencil. In this fun adventure to an amazing factory, the twins learn why even the common pencil is a miracle, one that nobody actually knows how to make, and how the process by which it's made is the key to prosperity in our modern age. Based on the essay, I Pencil by Leonard Reed, your children will learn about the economic principles of spontaneous order, division of labor, competition, trade, and the free market, and why these things bring the people of the world together in peaceful cooperation. So this was really interesting, and to hear the kids had a lot of thoughts after reading through this. They really do grasp these concepts, and it's really cool to hear them talk about them. You can tell they understand what's going on. I haven't read through all of these myself. I've only read a couple of them, but one of these in here talks about inflation, and inflation is something that everybody is at least hearing about and probably feeling at the grocery store and the gas pump these days. Serena was explaining inflation to me one day, and I was just like, whoa, you know, I didn't know anything about inflation when I was 11 years old. So it's just cool to hear them learn things and then turn around and be able to explain them. It's just really cool. That's all I've got to say about it. With each book, there is an activity book available as well. And we went ahead and purchased the activity books because, you know, it's always nice to be able to reinforce what you're talking about and learning. And the activity workbooks are, I only have the one here that goes with the law. And I keep saying I'm going to put it into a spiral, into a binder, but I haven't yet. But it's got just fun activities like word searches and Mad Libs, mazes, and coloring sheets. And then it's got some discussion prompts and a writing assignment, all kind of things. And both my kids sit with Brandon and go through this material together. Both kids are able to learn appropriately and take things away from the lesson. So it's pretty impressive. Like I said, it breaks down big concepts like inflation in a way that an 11-year-old can explain it back to you. That's really, really cool. Okay, next. So we don't do the Tuttle twins every day. It's probably once a week or a week and a half that the kids get to work with Brandon with those. Going through spelling, the Minecraft curriculum, and daily reading, along with the read alouds I do with the kids, that's what Serena's everyday curriculum looks like. Now, on Mondays and Tuesdays, that's usually what school looks like for us. On Wednesdays, both kids go to a co-op, and they go to the same co-op, and they're in two different classes. Robbie's class is preschool and kindergarten, and Serena's class is middle school and high school age kids all together. The two main subjects they cover are geography and geology, so that's why it's so fitting that she chose geology to go along with her Minecraft. She didn't know that was going to be the co-op class this year. So it's just fitting. That just goes right together. It worked out perfectly this year, that reinforcement covering geology in a different way at co-op than she will learn at home with the books. I'm so grateful that we found a co-op this year. We haven't been a part of one every year that we've homeschooled, and this is our 11th year homeschooling. I don't know if I said that before, but this is our 11th year homeschooling, and every year that we have been a part of a co-op, I have really enjoyed. They've been my favorite homeschool years, mainly because the kids get to go and do something different. They get to learn from someone who's not me, which I think is important. They get to be around other kids and build those relationships. They get to learn differently than they do with me in the home. They do crafts, and they, you know, have discussions, and they hear other people's thoughts and ideas, and I love that so much. A part of the co-op also includes field trips, and so I just wanted to read aloud. I think they have some of the coolest field trips planned for this year. Now, for the classes do field trips differently. So Robbie goes with his class on a different day even than Serena goes with her class. They go separately, and I love that. They get to do their own thing, and they get to go experience the world. They get out and go do stuff. So Serena's class has already been to the Columbia Museum of Art. That's in, you know, we live in South Carolina. That's in our state capital. And then this month she went to, over in Georgia, they went to the Richmond County Elections Office, and they learned all about voting and the process of voting and what you need to do to be able to vote, what it looks like when you vote, and they got to go into the building and tour it. It was really, really cool. They had a really good time, and she told me all about it when I picked her up, because it's also a drop-off. All of their field trips are drop-offs, optional. I could stay if I want to, but usually they want me to drop them off. So I drop them off, and then I get to hear all about it when I pick them up. November, they're going to Atlanta to the Symphony Orchestra, and then in December, they're going to the Georgia Capitol Museum. January, they're going to the Center for Civil and Human Rights. In February, they're visiting Golden Harvest. It's a food bank. And March, they're going to a planetarium in Statesboro. April, they're going to Tybee Island to the Marine Center. I might go to that one too. along with. And then in May, they have a camping trip. It's an overnight drop off at the lake. All those sound so fun. So that's co-op. They go once a week, 1 day a week from 10 in the morning till 2 in the afternoon. And both kids love it so much. All right, so that's what the beginning of our week looks like. Then on Thursdays, usually we're home. Sometimes we're on a field trip. I kind of leave that day flexible. And then Fridays are our light days. And so on Fridays, we do spelling tests, and she could either say the words out loud or write them down. And she also signs them in sign language. We also do a lesson on music theory. Now, this is new this year to our homeschool too. I do have a little background in music, and this year I decided to tap into it and help the kids learn a little bit. So what I did was we have a piano downstairs. I have a very basic understanding of music, but I do have a little background. So I ordered this Theory Made Easy, and this is her workbook. It's very simple. It breaks down music theory in a way that anyone can understand. And here's an example of the next page that she is going to work on. So here you look at the notes and you figure out how many counts it has. And so together those two notes have 3 counts. So you go to find the sticker that is going to be the dotted half note because that has 3 counts. Basic music theory, and she's catching on nicely. Now to go along with that, I also ordered this easy piano sheet music for kids, and it's really simple. Serena is picking up really nicely on how to associate the keys and the notes and the keys with the music on the sheet music. So in this book, there's, like the first song is Mary Had a Little Lamb. Okay, so it's a very easy, helps build nice confidence in everything. I think she's currently working on London Bridge. And so this is what we do on Fridays. We'll do a lesson in the music theory workbook, and then we'll move on to the next piece of music to work on. And then she practices that for the week, and then we do the same thing the next week. We're just working through it in a way that makes sense to me. Something else that we supplement with in our homeschool is this cookbook. This is the complete cookbook for young chefs. If you have not seen this book, you should check it out. It's really awesome. I picked it up for her last year, maybe the year before, and we have the baking one too. I think there's a few other ones to choose from, but we have the cookbook and the baking cookbook, and they are awesome. These recipes are so good, and she loves to flip through here and pick a recipe. She loves to get in the kitchen and cook. She makes a fantastic chocolate chip cookie, and but anyway, Robbie has a cookbook too to pick from. Cooking is essential to life because we have to eat. And so I think it's important that the kids are always comfortable in the kitchen and learn how to prepare food and be safe in the kitchen and all that. So this is her cookbook that she references the most. So I keep it on her bookshelf up here. Once more, here is an overview of the books we talked about today. This is the entire Tuttle Twins book series. And then coming back up here is the Fun Schooling with Minecraft. They have all kinds of different fun schooling books you can look at and order. Life of Fred, Real World Math, the complete cookbook for young chefs. Here's our music workbooks. And then the geology and history books that she's using with the Minecraft curriculum, spelling and cursive. We are really enjoying this year, 6th grade. It's working out really well for Serena. She's enjoying everything that we're working with. So that's really awesome too. It's always helpful when your kids enjoy what they're learning. All the materials that I covered today in the video, I will link below. Everything that I can in the description box below. All right, that's what we do for homeschool. I hope I didn't leave anything out. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them down below in the comments section. I appreciate you hanging out with me today. I hope this video was helpful. Thank you for adding a dash of gratitude to your day. I'll see you on the next video.